Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye, and today we'll be looking at my very first user-submitted replay. Yes, that's right, this is a game that I didn't play. This was submitted to me by one of my subscribers, Ninjafox. Now Ninjafox is playing in the Fletcher here at Tier 9. It is a Tier 10 battle. But incidentally, all the Tier 10 ships in this battle are destroyers. The enemy team has a Gearing and a Shimakaze. Well, Ninja's team has two Shimakazes along with him. And to be honest, I think any team that has the Fletcher, well, they're in a better position because the Fletcher is such a wonderful, wonderful ship. The map is shattered. The mode is domination. Ninja's heading to the sea cap. Well, this particular battle that he sent me isn't, it's not overly impressive. There aren't insane damage numbers or insane kill counts, but the battle itself is interesting to look at, and there are a couple of key points that I want to specifically point out, of things that I would do differently. Ninja is going to get away with most of his gutsy moves, that I wouldn't do right up until the very end, where, well, he almost doesn't get away with it. But that, of course, is at the very end. The enemy team has been spotted heading to the A cap point. Pay attention to the chat here as the game gets into the first couple of minutes. Boom! Headshot. Tier 10 destroyer. The Gearing just got detonated. Wow. That's gonna suck. If you play in high tier battles, tier 8 and up, you will know that getting detonated in the first 2 minutes of the game is very, very costly. And unfortunately, it happens. However, the guy who got detonated, he's actually not as salty as you would expect to be. As he puts up there, fun and engaging gameplay mechanics. Well, yeah, that's true. But he also says it's been a while since his last one, a couple of months. So, always good to be a good sport about it. Remember, it is just a game after all. Now Ninja's got a couple of torpedo salvos off and away towards some potential enemy ships. I probably would have held on to those torpedoes myself just a little bit longer, but as you can see, there are a bunch of targets back in that direction. He's taken C with the help of that Shimakaze. He's popped smoke here, and he's going to go ahead and open up. There's a Mogami who's sitting back behind that island, and I think he's actually employed a little bit of tactical beaching. So, because he's in a bad position, he's going to go ahead and shoot at the turrets. As the Mogami pops back up, he's going to shift fire back over to the Mogami, who, as you can see, is just sitting there, but he is sitting at an angle, so actually managing to get those hits is going to be a little bit difficult. Enemy ship there off in the distance, turning away to avoid his torpedoes. You can see Ninja glancing back to see if he's going to get any torpedo hits. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. The Mogami is finally moving, and this is one of the moments in the replay where I actually got a little concerned. As you can see, there are torpedo warning behind him, and friendly Shimakaze just got deleted by the enemy Shimakaze. Where I'm concerned is that Mogami is within torpedo range. There's smoke in front of him, off to the side of him, and he's turning away, which means if I were Ninja, I'd be starting up my engine and I would be motoring in to that island there, because I would be under the impression that the Mogami has fired off his torpedoes into the smokescreen. And if I was the Mogami, I absolutely would have done that. And as you know, if you've seen my other videos, you know I absolutely love torpedoing destroyers sitting in smoke. Especially destroyers like Ninja here, who are broadside onto me. So, I wouldn't have stayed in that smoke, but Ninja gets away with it as that Mogami either was unable to or just forgot that he had torpedoes on the back of his ship and a good firing angle. He fires off torpedoes into that smoke screen, is something that I would do. And I'm noticing here that those torpedoes are moving really slowly, and I can see that torpedo indicator on the minimap showing that 9.5 kilometers. Ninja, upgrade to those 10.5 kilometer torpedoes as soon as you can. If you've got free XP and you can afford to, absolutely do so right now. You will not regret it. He gets a little sidetracked reporting somebody. I don't know who you're reporting, but you do need to pay a little bit better attention. You almost end up dead here as well. That Shimakaze, you are lucky, probably is the one that fired off torpedoes earlier, so his torpedoes are not reloaded. And help from the carrier. You knocked out the engine. The carrier saw an opportunity and took it. So, yeah, you could feel a little bit like you got cheated out of the kill there, but he was still half health. But that is good gameplay and team dynamic by the carrier there, who saw a friendly destroyer spotting a tier 10 destroyer. You know, don't waste any opportunity to kill that. Moving forward, he's got this Tirpitz coming around this corner. His torpedoes are almost up. And again, going back to that torpedo situation, get those 10.5 kilometer torpedoes. Not only are they faster than the 9.5 ones, they reload quicker. So your torpedoes would have been up coming around that corner, and you wouldn't have accidentally beached yourself. Again, looking at the gameplay, here being a little bolder than I would be. I always recommend with this kind of situation to, well, pretty much just break contact. Get that engine boost, break contact, use the islands for cover, get back into concealment, and use the torpedoes as your primary armament over your guns. Yet, considering you've got the 9.5 kilometer torpedoes and they are slower, I can understand the gun dynamic. And you are getting a lot of really good hits there. And there's 2 torpedo hits, not lucky enough to get flooding, which is unfortunate. I hate when that happens. So Ninja is he's kind of being chased out of the sea cap point. And he's being a little bit more forward and aggressive with continuing to fire. And so he's going to be permanently detected while doing so. He's going to get a couple of lucky line-of-sight breaks, but because the enemy aircraft carrier has got planes in the area, he's going to be spotted as he, fires again. And I don't really think you needed to continue to fire your guns. I think this would have been a perfect opportunity for you to break line of sight and then get back up and back around the other side of the sea cap there and use your torpedoes to start taking out those cruisers and other battleships in the distance. As your team is up on points, well, both teams are equal in terms of ships. Your team has pretty much just rolled over the top of them for all of those cap points. That Tirpitz is so close to dead, and I do understand the decision here to continue to open fire, to pepper him with high explosive. Let's see if you can get him another fire or finish him off. But for whatever reason, all of your shells just seem like they're just exploding. Well, they're disintegrating on impact. They're not actually getting any kind of penetrations. I don't know about the decision here to switch over to the Rune. I would have continued desperately trying to sink that Tirpitz. But I suppose Rune is closer. He did just take some hits from the aircraft carrier, and I'm actually surprised how little damage he took from the aircraft carrier, because it looked like he took at least 2 torpedoes. But from here, it almost looks like he only took 1. Ninja's going to continue to pepper him from back behind these islands. That Rune is going to get some good shots off into him. And Ninja's going to start closing in to get, better angles and better torpedo hit probabilities. But again, I would say you don't need to be so far forward and continuing to fire your guns. Mostly because you're getting lucky, you're getting really, really lucky that rune just cannot hit you. But you are being smart. You're not sailing in a straight line, so you are making it difficult for that rune to hit you. You're giving your ass a waggle there to make sure that shots are not going to be predictable. The shots are going to fire out, and you're going to turn, and they're going to fly over you, or they're going to fall short. So that's a plus there. Unfortunately, again, because you were detected that rune, very smart, not a big dumb player, he was able to dodge all of those torpedoes, which is always disappointing. This Amagi, he's almost dead, and looking at the scores, as soon as he's dead, the game's over. And our hero, Ninja, did pretty well, 400,000 and just shy of 70,000 damage done. You almost didn't get away with it at the end there. You took a big hit from the rune. However, you did make second on your team for XP earned, which is pretty damn good. And of course, like I said, 400,000 credits in a tier 9 battle. Always fantastic. Anyway, folks, that's it for today's video. If you liked the commentary or the content, let me know. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll get more amazing battle replays at some point. Do be gentle. This is my very first battle replay submitted by somebody. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Captain Rye, signing off.